my name is Jeffrey and welcome back for episode 42 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video, we're beginning phase 1 of our long journey to nuclear power, starting out with all the filters we need to handle radiation, moving some of our heavy oil residue from last time into position for steel production. Thank you for all the support now with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. Alright, the time has come to begin our nuclear preparations. So this is going to be many episodes kind of putting this all together. I've kind of broken it down into a few more tackleable projects. I think that's a word. So today we're starting out pretty easy, but we got a few different things to do, so it'll be pretty exciting. It should be pretty interesting to do a good variety of things in one episode. So today we are going to be throwing together an automatic gas filter, tiny little layout for that. It's going to put 60 per minute. It's actually going to be super satisfying because we got some nice even belt numbers on that one. Then we're going to be doing a hand-fed iodine filter set up here at the base, just so we can have those to go around and actually use the radioactive things, because we're going to be needing uranium for the nuclear project. And then we're going to take some of the packaged heavy oil residue we made in the last couple episodes. We're going to turn some of that into 1200 petroleum coke. And where I'm actually going to do that is I'm going to be setting up my electromagnetic. I actually just realized I forget what they're called. But the stuff for the actual nuclear facility will be made up in this area. It's going to be the fuel rods, and I think something else will be made up here. So there's going to be all sorts of stuff going on up here. And today we're going to be starting with just a little bit of petroleum coke that we're going to be used for coke steel ingot, I think, in the future episodes. So one thing I wanted to cover just before we move on, I won't bother heading all the way over there, but I did have to switch from trains at the heavy oil residue facility to drones because for some reason trains just kept making my game crash. So instead I just switched it out to some drones, which ended up making me need some more power. So if you're following on with the series, you will have to add in some more power, but if you don't want to waste your time building the giant heavy oil residue facility that is completely unnecessary, you can save yourself on some power. But what I went ahead and did was I just copied the power setup from a few videos ago. I built it right somewhere over here. Well, I'll actually head out here because this is where the gas filter setup is going to be. And you guys will just see I did literally the same thing that we made over here, and it's now over here. So I added another 18,000 megawatts of power, and that should be enough to get us to fully set up on our nuclear setup without having to rely on batteries or turning anything off. If you want to turn some stuff out, you can save 5,000 megawatts if you just turn off the crystal oscillator factory, which is currently everything there is just going into a sink right now. So but yeah, let's head on over to this area over here where I built the fuel power plant, and we're also going to be building the 60 gas filter setup. Oh, actually, before we go, I'll tell you what we need. There we go. Easy. You need 10 refiner. Oh, wait, I forgot the water extractors. So 10 refineries, 8 manufacturers, 1 miner Mark II, and then you will need 3 water extractors. There we go. That's what you need total. So we're going to be taking all that stuff with us. It's not a huge build by any means, so this should all easily fit in our inventory. I'll probably make the portable miners before we go, obviously, and then it should be good to go. The only other thing I kind of want to catch you guys up on is me thanking you guys for coming back to support the channel again. No, I'm just kidding. But we're gonna kind of move forwards with some of the BAM research. You will actually, for this one, if you haven't already, go ahead and unlock the polyester fabric alternate recipe. That's what we're going to be using today. We're going to be turning polymer resin and water into fabric. Sounds kind of crazy, but it's going to work. And then we're also going to be turning the polymer resin into rubber using the residual rubber recipe. I don't think that's an alternate. I think that's just a normal one. So residual rubber turns polymer resin and water into rubber. So overall we need rubber, fabric, and then some coal to make the gas filters. So I've unlocked most of everything So far, the only two things left are the leading edge production and the particle enrichment in tier 8. If you want to just go ahead and buy the things from the item shop to finish unlocking all these, that's probably what I'm going to do, as I have just a ton of awesome sync points just kicking around. What am I at now? 267. Gotta love it. I think I'm syncing almost on average 1,000,000 points per minute, so it's looking pretty good. So now we can head on over to the build spot. Like I said, it's up in this this little lake right here, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'll be sure to be like, hey, I was wrong. It's actually you. But yeah, pretty sure it's right about here. I was exactly right. Right in this pool right here. This is where I basically literally copy and pasted the exact same setup from way over there off of a single pure oil node down there. Now the one we're going to be using today for the coal, like I said, all we need today for this recipe is water, coal, and the exactly 360 polymer resin, which is coming out of this factory, which is kind of cool. So we're actually maxing out this coal node on miner or Mark II with 300 per minute, because I think it's an impure. It's either an impure or normal. It's a normal. Okay, so yeah, 300 per minute, maxed it on that. And then we're going to be taking all 360 polymer resin per minute from that factory, and we're going to be turning it into our gas filters. So just so everything's nice and localized, I think I'm probably going to set it up kind of as a like flat platform sticking out from over top of there, and that way I can just send the resin over, send the coal, and then we'll just pump some water from down below, similar to what I'm doing for the factory here, for the power plant. So let's go ahead and set up a little platform kind of just coming out from here, maybe a little lower, but I want to make sure I'm at least over top of this little rock rib thing right here. There we go. I actually ended up building it in line with that platform there, and it's actually now just sitting over top of the pipeline that's coming across. So it's a little bit lower, but I think that should be big enough. I mean, like I said, this isn't too crazy of a build. It's 10 refineries and 8 manufacturers. So this is, for anyone wondering, if you're trying to build along with it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 20. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there you go. 20 by 20 platform. And then I'm just going to bring coal down. I already put the miner down, so we got the coal, and it's going to come down from here. It'll feed. The coal goes right into the manufacturer. Oh, that's actually perfect. So we'll do the refineries over here that actually make the fabric and rubber, and then we'll do the manufacturers here, since we'll need to take the stuff from there and the coal from here, and we can put it into the 8 manufacturers here. It's going to be beautiful. I'm honestly not too sure how good my frame rate is going to be right here. This is this part of the northern forest seems to be a bit problematic for me, so hopefully it's not too hard to watch. It's hard to tell for me what the recording is actually going to look like, but it is a little bit choppy, so hopefully it's still okay. Basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring the polymer resin all the way over from here. We have exactly 360 per minute coming in here. This is why I actually designed the output this way, was because we had exactly 360 polymer resin matched up with the exactly 300 coal that you could take out of there. So I figured that would be, and then some of the belts are like exactly 120 units per minute, and then the end belt is exactly 60. So it's going to be some nice full belts that we'll be able to see at the end. So in order to bring this polymer resin over, I'm just going to leave it still going into the sink for now until we get all this set up. Obviously I don't want to get anything backed up here. What I'm going to do is I just put a merger here, and then I'll run a line just kind of right down the middle here until we actually get to where I need it to be. And then, so this mixes with water. Actually, this needs to get split. I need 240 going to 6 refineries for the rubber, and I need 120 going to the other 4 refineries for polyester fabric. And this will be super easy because we can just do a normal splitter, and then I'll do a Mark II conveyor belt coming off the one side, and it'll only ever take 120 units per minute. We're going to go ahead and put our splitter right there. We'll feed the belt in there just like that. And then what I'll do is, actually I think this is like right smack in the middle of the platform. So what I'll do is I'll have the of the 4 refineries over here. I won't use blueprints here since 1, this is smaller, and 2, I don't have blueprints set up for these. So what we'll do is we'll grab our refineries here, and like, oh, I need to grab a few more things for my storage. Thankfully it's just up and over the hill. I probably should have loaded up on these things before I left. That was my bad. So let me go run back, grab that stuff really quick, and then we'll start building. All right, I grabbed all my stuff and we're back. So we're going to start from, like I said, the 360 polymer resin here. We're going to go ahead and grab our refineries. We're going to start with making sure we place them the right direction, as I've been terrible for doing that in the past. So we're going to need, what do we need? 4. We need, oh, this is perfect. Everything's exact numbers. There's no underclocking or overclocking required. So we're going to go, where's this going to be coming down from? This way? Okay, so we're going to go start right here. Let's go. Is that the right way? It is. 1, 2, 3, 4 refiners there. Then we've got 6 on this side. We'll start here since we need a little bit more room. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there are, that's all 10 refineries already done. Now for the rest of the, I didn't actually do a drawing this time. I didn't think I needed one, but turns out now I'm feeling like maybe I should have actually done one. So now I just need the 8, actually maybe not. Now we just need the 8 manufacturers. Which would be a good way to face these. I could do like 2, well, if I split them up, then I'm going to have my, no, oh no, I'll still have full belts. Okay. Let's do 2 rows of 4, I think. Unless I can fit 8. I could probably fit 8 going down this way. Let's try it. Let's go. Let's start from like, start from here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so close. Okay, I gotta go a little bit more over. There we go. Nailed it. 8 manufacturers all in a row there. So that'll leave me just enough room. I'll have to add maybe, you know, I'll just add like a block here for bringing the coal in. And then back here can be enough room. Oh, it's so laggy here. Back here could be a spot for where I load this into a drone because it's only 60 a minute. Should be nice and easy to move back. I mean, like I said, it's not that far from base. I could probably just run a Mark 1 conveyor belt over and save myself a drone, but either way, that's actually the layout for the gas filters. I mean, aside from the 3 water extractors we're gonna need to set up down below, it's probably gonna need to be requiring me to blow up these little flower guys down there. But before we move on to that, let's go ahead and take care of all our belt work. Why not? So into these refiners over here, like I said, we're going to be using some, we're going to be using exact belts on this one, just like we used to. So we're going to go Mark II conveyor belt, bringing it all the way down. I just realized we got to put in some splitters here first. So we're going to go a splitter here. Make sure you're facing the input coming from the right. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we got our Mark II conveyor belt coming all the way down. Just looking real beautiful. Mark 1 conveyor belts going into your machines. Why not? Make things nice and even this time. So you can just do a nice little Mark 3 conveyor belt coming to the other side. I almost forgot. We also need some splitters over here. Let's go ahead and start putting these in. That was not lined up. And this autosave better not crash my game. Oh, I forgot to mention too, as I'm putting this together, we'll talk about it a little bit. As this channel seems to be getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, way faster than I ever imagined we would. Actually, I don't even think I ever thought we'd get to 1,000, but here we are. So I've mentioned it before. My idea for when we hit 1,000 is to celebrate with our first live stream here on YouTube. And what we would end up doing is doing like a Mario Kart-esque death style race. Where you can do it with like tractors and like factory carts and stuff. Probably factory carts, since they don't use, I don't really think they use a fuel source. Yeah, so that was gonna be the idea, was we would be able to have like people kind of sub in and out and race with me if you'd like to. This is Mark III conveyor belt, by the way. But we're getting there. Like I said, we're getting there a lot faster than I thought we were going to. So I think I'm going to start reaching out to people in the Discord and seeing if they would like to assist me in putting it together. I could definitely use a hand with it. So if you're interested in helping me build a little like Mario Kart style race, make sure you hop in the Discord and, you know, we can just kind of help out when you can and maybe throw some cool features in. Or if you just have some cool ideas for what we could include in the race, feel free to join up for that as well. But yeah, that's going to be the 1,000 subscriber celebration is getting to play on a little racetrack all together. I think it'll be fun. It won't be in this world. I'll just start a brand new world, and hopefully it won't be like too crazy laggy, but we'll do the best we can. Okay, so we got all our belts now feeding into our two that's refineries here. We do still need to do the water, like I said, but we can do that separate towards the end. But for now, what we're going to do, these are all just going to be solid outputs. There's going to be no liquid outputs. So then we see this, this will be nice and easy. We've got 120 fabric and 120 rubber. So both sets of refineries will be combining into Mark II conveyor belts. And those Mark II conveyor belts will be feeding into conveyor lines that I'm eventually going to set up for these manufacturers. But we'll start with the mergers first. So we're gonna send let's send the rubber down this way to the left, and then it'll feed in down like this. And then the rubber and the coal will come in from this side, and then the fabric I'm gonna feed this way, and it'll come in from this side. That might make things a little easier. I'm not sure. We'll see how things go. So we're going to grab our mergers, and we're going to make sure we're sending everything down this way to the left. We actually have a little bit more room to play with here, so let's give ourselves some room to be able to look at things flying around. Like I said, we're going to have some nice, really balanced numbers coming along these belts, so I think this will be a really nice factory to be able to look at. It'll be a little bit laggy to watch probably, but it should be fine. So we're going to, like I said, Mark II conveyor belts all the way down. Oh wait, that's actually incorrect. It would be Mark I conveyor belt. So we got 30, 60, I think, right? Okay, let me check. Let's go residual rubber. Oh, it's 20 per minute. Okay, so 20, 40, 60. So that's Mark I conveyor belt to there. And then Mark II for the rest of it. Yeah, okay. And like I said, no underclocking or overclocking on these machines required. Just run them at 100%. And it'll all be nice, balanced, and ready to go. I don't even think 60 gas filters per minute is necessary, but I did it because it all looked nice. So same thing with the mergers here. We'll bring them out a little bit so we can actually see things. We're going to be sending everything to the right this time. Oh, those are not lined up with the solid output. Those are the liquid outputs. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just like that. We got our Mark I conveyor belts feeding into those. Hopefully I'm leaving enough space so it's a lot easier to follow along if you need to. So from here, we're doing the alternate recipe polyester fabric, which is right there, which outputs 30 per minute. So that'll be Mark I conveyor belt to there, Mark I conveyor belt to here, and then we immediately go into Mark II. I faced that the wrong way. Actually, no, that's fine. Now I've goofed and it's not, I'm going to have to reconnect these lines. All right, there we go. So Mark I, Mark II, and then Mark II coming out. So we're going to set the rest of these to be polyester fabric. Copy and paste them on there. Beautiful 100%. No underclocking, overclocking. And then we go to our manufacturers over here. We're going to scroll down until we find gas filters. We're going to copy the settings from there. We're going to go paste, paste, and paste on everybody. from there, we're going to figure out these manifold lines that I'm going to do. So let's do a little temporary lift here just so I know how far out to put my splitters. So it looks like we want to go about right there. I'll put that there as a marker. So for the coal, I'll do that as the first one on the right input here. So what I'll actually do is I'll have to replace that one now because it's facing the wrong way. There we go. Now that's set up for coal. We're going to do that all the way down. Coal is going to be our first layer here. So there's no using lifts for the coal except for obviously bringing it down. So it is 300 coal per minute. So that is going to have to be a Mark IV conveyor belt. That's a little bit just higher than, this is one of the belts that's not quite as, won't be quite as smooth looking. That's why we'll put it on the bottom. We won't look at it. We'll hide it away. So Mark III conveyor belt, or sorry, Mark IV conveyor belts all the way down. And then you're just going to do not that. You're going to do Mark I conveyor belts feeding in because all you need is 37.5 per minute. You're in the wrong spot. You should be right there. There we are. So that is the coal line put in now. So now we're, oh, I guess I should have waited before I put that connecting line in. So I actually could have put in the rest of the splitters. But I think I can just do this. Does that get rid of the belt? No? Okay. So yeah, now we're just going to put in the splitters going right here. Make sure they are facing, this one was going to be, make this one the rubber. So we'll face the input coming from this way. And then this one, we're going to make sure they're all coming from the right hand side here. Oops. Why am I doing this? Because I'm making mistakes, that's why. Instead of making my way downtown, I'm making mistakes. Okay, so we're trying to get this to snap in properly. It would be nice to me. It's not really snapping it. There we go. Can be a little finicky. Okay, I just deleted the belt to do this one a little bit easier. So yeah, the third one, that's going to be for... Actually, I should probably turn this one. Turn this one to be this way. Don't talk to me. Yeah, so this one's going to be the 3 high. This one's going to be for our fabric that's going to come from this side. So we're just going to do the 3 high splitters all the way down that are facing the different direction than everything else, but that's still okay. I think it looks cool. I'm just going to delete these belts and put them back in because it just makes everything easier. Like I said, it might be a little bit laggy. Hopefully it's still good enough for watching. This is the most problematic area on the map for me, unfortunately. Like I mentioned in the previous episode where I was building the canisters. But they did mention in the last video that Coffee Stain Studios released, they did talk a lot about optimization and performance increases. So for those of us that don't have the greatest PC, that came as a nice, pleasant bit of good news that hopefully you'll be able to play in some of these areas a little bit better going forward. Because yeah, it can be quite laggy, and as soon as I step foot in that forest, it's like, oh, where'd my frames go? So we're going to do Mark II conveyor belts all the way along the top here. We have 120 fabric per minute. Come along here. Come along now. I was like, I didn't even think that went in the right spot, but it did. And then we're going to connect up the lower one. The middle section, like I said, is also going to be Mark II. I think this will actually look pretty cool with things going back and forth. probably harder to organize like when you're doing a lot of belts, but when you're doing stuff like this, having them go back and forth isn't too bad. So now we can just go ahead and put the Mark 4, was it Mark 4? Yeah, Mark 4 conveyor belts back down the line here because we're just over the 270 of the Mark 3s. That's for the coal. Now we're going to do some lifts. We're going to grab the Mark 2 conveyor lift right here. Just the short little nubbin all the way along. So it's hard to, it's hard to see sometimes. You look at that and it's like, wait, is it actually going to connect in? But yes, it does. You see that green line going in, you know you got a connection. There we go. That is all the manufacturers fed there. So now I just actually need to connect the rest of them here. Let's grab a Mark II lift. Going the up. It knows, right? Yeah. We got our Mark II line coming out of here. Oh, wow. That worked out nicely. Perfect 90-degree angle right from there. I think, right? Yes. Okay. So that one is... Nope. Did that wrong. I was like, something doesn't seem right here. Typical. So now we're going to grab that little stubby guy again. Connected to here, hopefully. Come on. There we go. Okay, I might need to connect this to the belt first. So we'll go like that. Bring the belt over. Needs to be back just a little bit. Right there. Oops. Need to go from the belt. Why not? Why is this not... Hello? Why can't I do this? I thought you could make the stubby ones. It'll only work if it's going directly into the machine. Huh. I didn't know that. Okay. Well, that's interesting to learn. There we go. I got it to work. It's also because I had the conveyor belt coming out of the wrong hole there. So there we go. Now I've got it all set up properly. And I got the little stubby feeding in. Now I have the little stubby feeding in. I realized I can connect it to the actual lift itself. So yeah, now we're going to do the same thing down here. Make sure we're actually bringing the output out this time. I goofed last time. So this one's going to the 3 high, so this one's actually not going to be a problem at all. I also just realized I put in conveyor belt or conveyor lift Mark IIs along here. That was completely unnecessary. These need to be 1s, so you can put those as 1s if you want. I don't know why I made them all 2s. I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, that is fabric, rubber, and well, once coal comes down, coal's going to feed into the bottom one there. That's just going to be a line right here. Just like that. Then we'll send all the actual gas filters down that way. Connected together nice and clean. Okay, so that is all the stuff done for the gas filters. Now we just need the mergers on the back here. So we're gonna bring in we'll bring them out a little bit, give them a little bit extra space. Make sure we're sending everyone down to the right here. And then this one we're gonna face going this way. And then, like I said, it's only Mark 1 conveyor belts on the back. We're only ever putting a maximum of 60. And I can't put any slower belts than Mark 1, so there we go. We got conveyor belts for everybody. So now we're just going to bring the coal down and we'll hook that up into this line. And then we'll do our water. So we can hook that up on the back side here. Actually, yeah, let's do the water really quick. Or the pipes here at least. So we'll grab logistics. What was this? We need 120 water to the 4 and 240. So 240, 120. 360. So we're gonna need Mark II, a Mark II feeder pipe at least. And then, you know what we could do? We'll do just one long feeder pipe along here instead of doing like two separate things. So we'll just do one long one along here, and then we'll just we'll feed them down from above. So let's grab our pipeline Mark II. We'll start from down here. We'll raise it up as far as it'll let us. And we're going to start bringing it down. Bring it down along here. I don't want those, I don't want the support to be where, like, in line with a input. So we'll keep this raised up all the way down. We're going to grab our junction crosses. We're going to rotate them like that so they'll actually snap onto where we need them to be. So as long as I have a full pipe, because we're not dealing with like an excessive amount of water here, I should be able to do this no problem. I'm going to change horizontal to vertical and going from the junction to the machine so it goes out and over the conveyor belt down below. Oops. You can use Mark I pipes, but I find the Mark II pipes, they just kind of handle things a little bit better. I mean, I know they don't handle a full 600 very well, but I find like they just kind of stay pressurized a little bit better. Mark I pipes are kind of, I mean, they're okay if you're just doing 300 liquid, but. So I'm just going to set the water to kind of come down here. I think I can put the water extractors right below here. So I'm just going to pop in a bunch of, like just a tower going down here. Snap it in underneath. We want to go vertical. All the way down to the water. It's right into the ground. And then we'll switch to 2-meter foundations. So I'm not actually in the water. You can do it in the water if you want to. I typically don't do that too much. Oh, got some not so nice friends here. Kind of stay more out of their way. Switch back to Zoop. I landed on a plant there. He's really mad at me now. Things are starting to lag down here. Okay, so we're putting some water extractors here. I only needed 3. So we'll start with a pipeline junction cross. Start on the end here, why not? Put that right in the middle like that. And then we'll grab our water extractors. Turn it around, hold down control so it snaps in with the pipeline junction there. Give it just a little bit back like that. Put in the other 2. Grab their pipeline junctions. Line them up like that. That's how I get my nice, perfect, clean pipelines. So we're just connecting all these up together, and then I'm going to put a industrial fluid buffer here, as I like to do in all my builds, just so I can handle any sort of extra sloshing or anything that's going on. We're just going to pop that in right there. Bring the pipe over. But yeah, these don't get underclocked, overclocked, or anything. Just leave them as the 120 because we need 360 water per minute. So now we're going to bring a pipeline over. Hopefully no one gets too mad at us while we're standing here. We'll get an autosave coming. I'll go over here and wait until it's done. Ah, there we go. Autosave done. We got the pipes hooked up. We got a pump hooked up. And that should be enough head lift to get it all the way up into, looked like it was anyway. So now we're going to get, let's get these water things hooked up to power so we can get these pipes all backed up. We're just going to hook up to our power line from here. Give it some extra power lines. Then that would be perfect. one run over to the pipe here, or the pump. And that should start backing up my water system. Alright, water system is starting to fill up. I painted it blue just for funsies. So that'll be our water going in. That shouldn't be an issue once these pipes get all filled up. There shouldn't be a problem. So let's quickly run the coal down, and then we'll let the night pass, and then overnight I'll just throw down all the power and everything. Obviously this is super easy and super simple to do. So we're gonna go over here. We're gonna grab our Mark IV conveyor belt coming out of this this bad boy right here. And straighten that up a little bit. And we're going to bring it down this way to a Mark IV conveyor lift. I don't know if this will actually be tall enough. May have to grab a floor hole for this one. Oh, so close. Actually, you know what? Here. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so Mark IV conveyor belt, bring it all over to the rest of it here. It's probably not going to make it all the way in one, so I'm just going to stop it there. And we'll connect it in just like that. Okay, so nighttime, I'm just going to throw down all the power lines we need to connect this. I won't turn anything on until we're actually ready. Because I still got to run the actual items and everything over here too, so yeah, let's just throw down all the power while the night passes, and then we'll come back and we'll turn everything on together. All right, daytime is here. Let's get this show on the road. So I decided to go just overnight after I hooked up the power as well. This is just the output for the. I'm gonna do is send the items over. I was gonna do a conveyor belt, but I was like, it's just a lot easier. I'll just do a quick little drone. It'll be a short trip. Shouldn't use a whole lot of batteries. So I've got a smart splitter here where it'll feed into the storage container and the drone board just to give myself a little storage buffer. Just in case I need to run over here and grab a couple at any point. And then, yeah, if it ever gets backed up, like I'll probably just turn this off, like, because you will hit a point where you have plenty of gas filters. So there will come a point where I'll probably turn this off, and then we'll just send this stuff off into the sink instead of just having to like resync the other stuff anyway. So, because this will always have to be running. So let's go ahead and link up some power here, shall we? Let's go and start with, we already did the, you guys remember we did the water pipes already, so those are already set, ready to go. We're going to hit the refineries. Actually, I think everything's just connected to power, and it's probably fine if everything all just powers up at once. So we're going to go, how do I hook this all? That's all hooked up to power. This is all hooked up. How am I going to hook this up? I think just from here. If we go like this, and then I hook myself into there. That turns everybody on. Excellent. Okay, so we'll let those fill up with water. They won't actually be able to do anything yet because they don't have polymer resin, which we're going to have to go over here to hook that up. So we're going to get rid of this awesome sink. We're going to put a conveyor belt Mark V in there. I'll start sending our polymer resin down into the line. That's exactly what we need. All right, the polymer resin is coming in. I'm starting to see rubber and fabric come out of the backside. I see coal coming down as well. So we should start to see our first gas filter come out here pretty soon. Our first gas filter is coming out. There it is. Oh, it's so little. It's so tiny. Look at that little thing. Here we go. We got our gas filters. So that is part one of our to-do list today. All finished off. 60 gas filters per minute. Fully automated. I mean, it'll be a little while before it backs up, but that's okay. Everybody's fine with water. We're just waiting on the polymer resin. Alright, so I think we'll just kind of let this thing hang out, do its own thing. It'll get backed up and by the time we're ready to go for our next project, we should be starting to see it get backed up doing 60 parts or 60 filters per minute. So I don't know why they're not showing that they're loading in here. I'm not, they're going in, but they're not showing up. Interesting. I'll have to figure out why that is, because that's not, that's pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to do our next part of our project, which is the iodine filters hand fed. We're just going to set that part up at base. You are going to need, how many manufacturers did I decide? 8. It's 8 manufacturers. I think it's going to be like 7.5 per minute from each one. You can't really go that high on them. So we're going to set that up, and it's going to be, you'll need to feed it with aluminum casings, quick wire, and the gas filters. So we're going to be sending the gas filters back to base, and we already have quick wire and aluminum casings being sent to base. So we're ready to go. All right, I'm back at base. This is probably the easiest part of our to-do list that we have to do today. So we're going to grab some manufacturers, and we're going to put in 8 of them. Then we're going to have to build some little conveyor feeders. Actually, what have I got for blueprint manufacturer-wise? This is a 3 input manufacturer. So production, manufacturer 3 input. Oh, perfect. Look at that. We're ready to go. Let's put down 8 of these. Okay, so let's just find a good spot to kind of fire these down. Like I said, we're going to need 8. So we're going to need a little bit of room. Let's go. So like one there. And then we'll just snap them all in next to each other. There we go. I got 8 in. I had to shift them back a little bit just because, as you can see, would have connected or counteracted with my radio control unit one here. That has a bunch of radio control units ready for me. So we just have to hook up these 8. We're going to set them all to do, where is it? An iodine infused filter. Now, if you don't overclock these, I think it's a good, just an even, it's just double this. It's just 16 manufacturers. But I'm going to overclock them all and make them do 7.5 per minute. There we go. We got everyone set up to do 7.5 per minute. So we're just going to go ahead and connect up all the rest of these belts here. I'm just going to use Mark 5 belts just because it matches with the rest of the blueprints here. We're just going to connect all these in together. The lifts are already put into the machines, which makes this a lot easier. And then we'll also have to connect the power, not to the machines. We'll just have to connect those pillars up in the back. There we go. We got our belts in. Now I'm at this, obviously the reason I don't bother building like an actual factory for this is this will also be temporary. I don't think we need to do, like, we'll make like a certain amount, and then once I'm pretty sure we have enough, then I can probably just take it down. I feel like a good handful of industrial storage bins should be enough. But we'll kind of see. You guys can feel free to give me some feedback in the comments, like how many do you think that I should have stored away to kind of get me through the rest of the game. I mean, I feel like quite a bit, but probably not like too much. I'm thinking like a good handful of storage containers and we should be good to go. So to feed this whole system, I'm going to set up, speaking of storage bins, I'm going to set up 3 industrial storage bins down here, all with their outputs facing that way. I'm going to hook them all in next to each other. Grab a Mark 5 belt for down below. That'll be the outside one here. Hook that up just like that. And then we'll grab some lifts for these ones. This is going to be a little funny looking, but it's going to be just fine. I think if I just put a lift here, it should work. Put it about that high. I've made it too high. That high enough? Perfect. Okay, so then we can go like that. And then we'll just throw some signs on it for what we actually need to feed in here. And there we go. There's our input boxes for our infused iodine infused filters. So you're going to be, this whole system is going to take 480 quick wire per minute, which is fine because they stack in 500. Then you got 60 aluminum casings per minute, so you can fire up that. I mean, fill that bin up, should be fine. And then same with the gas filters, 60 per minute. So I'm going to hook up these bad boys to power. I'm going to grab a bunch of stuff to kind of start filling this up and let it go. We'll have to let the gas filters kind of run for a little bit longer too before we can get a good amount of stuff for the system. We'll get things loaded up, we'll get things powered up, and then we can move on. That was a nice, simple, easy product for this episode. Alright, we got them hooked up to power, ready to go. They're all sitting at yellow right now because they have absolutely no ingredients to work with. So let's grab some quick wire, some aluminum casings, and I'll run back and grab whatever gas filters we have so far. And we'll see what this system can do. And I just realized we haven't done the pickup line on the back yet. We should probably do that really quick too. There we go. Merger system in, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 industrial storage containers. I don't know. Is that enough? Let me know. Probably. So now we'll go ahead and grab everything. We'll start filling this bad boy up. All right, there we go. It's hard to see. The gas filters are there. They're so small. They're moving really fast. But we got the quick wire going in. We got the aluminum casings going in. So they're going to start feeding into these machines here. We should start seeing the iodine infused filter coming out. There they go. Also very tiny. So we're going to start filling that up into a storage. I wonder what the stack size is. Like, let me know what the stack size is. I'll probably know. I guess I'll probably find out pretty soon what the stack size is, but I'm guessing probably like 100 at a time, probably. I'm hoping for 100 at a time. 50 maybe? Probably 50 though. Okay, so as the autosave kind of comes here, we'll bring this part of our episode to an end. Yeah, probably one of the easier projects we've ever done. So now we can move on to the 1200 petroleum coke. We're going to be heading up to this area of the map. We haven't actually built anything up here yet in the dune. I think it's the dune desert. Or no, this is the dune desert. This is the rocky desert. So we're heading up here. There's actually a highway system right along here. And then we're going to be adding in quite a large platform here. We won't be doing that today. We're just going to be adding enough to do our 1200 petroleum coke. So we're going to have to send over, let me check my numbers here really quick. We're going to have to send over 400 cubic meters of heavy oil residue per minute. So that definitely comes just from one of our lots. So the one line that we have feeding right now, we can just take some from that. We'll send it over here. We'll pump it into some unpackagers, then into some refineries, doing some petroleum coke. And that'll be the end of the episode for today. So make sure you bring enough stuff for, what are we going to need? We need 10 refineries for sure, and I'm just ballparking 10 refineries or 10 packagers for unpackaging. That's probably not true. I probably don't need that many. In fact, I'm pretty sure I definitely don't need that many, but I guess we'll find out. So that's because, yeah, we're going to unpackage and then put it into the refineries for the petroleum coke. And then we'll also need, we'll just set up a awesome sink for now. Like, we'll be using this petroleum coke eventually, but just to have the system up and running, we'll fire it into a sink. And then yeah, let's grab what we need. We'll head on over. All right, welcome to the Rocky Desert. It's time for our first build over here. Yeah, like I said, basically this whole section right here is going to be used for like our supply for the nuclear power. It's going to be doing the uranium rods and the electromagnetic control rods. Those are the things I finally remembered how to say them. So the reason I picked over here is there's lots of concrete, lots of copper, lots of iron, pretty much everything ready to go. The uranium, I believe, is back up in there somewhere, so it shouldn't be too hard to bring over either. And then the other thing I believe I need is like nitrogen. I think I need like nitrogen gas. I think that's here somewhere too. So we've got pretty much everything we need in this general area right here. And you got lots of water too if you need it, but that's going to be more for the actual nuclear power itself, which is probably also going to get built over there because there's so much water. And you need a lot of water for nuclear power. Okay, sorry, I lost a little bit of my recording there, but it's still fine. I missed too much. And instead of having to rebuild it all again, I just decided I'll run you guys through what you missed. I set up quick little drone port. These drones are bringing over the packaged heavy oil residue from one line. I haven't actually hooked up anything yet. And it turns out I need 20 unpackagers to handle the 400 heavy oil residue per minute. So I put down the 20 all in a single row here, which should be fine, I believe, because it will be able to handle the 20 outputs. So now I just need to go through and hook up these belts and send the output from here into here. Now I am sending over more than 400 per minute, and the reason for that is I'll probably use more for other things over here in the future, and I didn't really have a good way of specifically splitting off 400 from, like, I think it's like 760 point something that I'm making. So I'm just sending over all of that, and then we'll use the 400 for this this line right here, and then I'll sync the rest as it comes in, and then we will figure out what to do with the remaining, I don't know, it's like 360 something. Figure out what to do with that in a future project. So I've got my belts and my pipes all hooked up. Everyone here is ready to go. Obviously we're not gonna be able to do too much for it yet. So how I'm gonna do this for sending what I need into the sink, I'll put the sink here, and then I'll split it off. We'll put a smart splitter in, and we'll send the rest over to that side. There we go. So we got a smart splitter feeding a awesome sink. All the package residue is actually feeding the machines, and this merger is here because we're going to need to do temporarily for now. Like I said, we're going to need to get rid of these extra canisters. That's going to be an output. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it around the back here, and then I'll send it to we'll send it into this little sink here. Just like that. And that'll sink all of our empty containers for now. And that should be able to keep up with that amount. It would be 400 canisters plus 3, 6, so yeah, should be the 780 belt should be able to handle it, no problem. If we end up having some backup problems, I can just always add an extra sink in. So now let's get our actual 10 refineries out. Do I have a blueprint for petroleum coke? Probably not. I do not. Yeah, I do not. This is not what this is. This makes heavy oil residue. So I just need to grab, I mean, it's only 10. We can just do this by hand. So let's grab our machines. Grab our refineries here. We need 10 refineries. We're going to go, they're a little bit bigger. Am I facing these the right way? Orange is in. Okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We got 10 refineries. I'm leaving a little bit of room over here just in case I need to add some stuff in or figure stuff out. I have a much bigger, like I said, this is a much bigger total project. This is going to be like one section of it. So leave myself a little bit extra space. This is never going to hurt. So now we just need to take this giant orange line here off the back. We'll probably end up painting it purple, and we're going to feed it into, first of all, it'll go into an industrial fluid buffer, because I find it just helps any sort of like sloshing you have on your outputs. We just throw down one of these, helps out a lot. All right, there we go. We got the output of the heavy oil residue coming down. It'll go into this fluid buffer right here, which will allow these to all pump out no problem. It should be pump out no problem. I think what I'll actually do, just to make things a little bit easier and hopefully maybe a little bit more balanced, or no, I'll leave it the way it is for now. But if I find that it's having problems trying to like get everything from here down into there, I'll probably just add another output pipe off the end of this one, and we'll pump it into this side here. We're going to set these all to do petroleum coke. No need to do any underclocking or overclocking or anything. It's all just set to be 100%. Which is going to be a 1200 petroleum outcook. What word was that? 1200 petroleum coke per minute. So I'm going to split this off into 5 and 5. So it'll be a 600 each. So let's grab our logistics mergers. Give ourselves a little bit of space. We're going to send them this way. Actually, no, we'll keep them together. Here's what I'll do. Our mergers will face this one coming towards me. And the other ones will face going that way. So it comes into like two lines that are like sort of close together in the middle here. So same thing from here. We're going to face this one towards me. And these ones are going to go to the left. These ones are going to go full Beyonce. So I'm just going to use Mark V belts here because I have a good amount of aluminum on me anyway. Keep things moving nice and quick in the back here. So the... Oops. Not like that. Hello. There we go. So that's those 5 together. Now we're going to link these 5 together. And each line of this will be 600. Now, I obviously don't have the rest of the factory set up yet, so we're going to do the same thing where you get a couple sinks. Alright, everybody's hooked up to power. Everybody's hooked up to a sink. I think we can go ahead and turn this little factory on. If you want to keep it off for now, I mean, you don't worry about like sinking anything, that's fine. I mean, well, you'd have to sink this stuff back here, otherwise your drones are just going to hover there forever. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and fire this on now. So let's find, this is the power line right here. So let's go ahead and connect the unpackagers. Let's get those rolling. Then we got the empty canisters flying out here, and they're just going to end up going into the sink. That's totally fine. Looking pretty good so far. I'm liking it. I'm just going to wait until the pipes are a bit more full to turn on these refineries. But that, I mean, that is pretty much the entire layout for this thing. So we got the drone port bringing in our heavy oil residue, which feed power packaged heavy oil residue. Goes into our unpackagers, which are slowly... Why is this red? That's why. My bad. There you go. Slowly backing up there. And then, yeah, I'm just waiting until these pipes are all filled up before I turn these ones on. And that'll be my petroleum coke that's going to be used in a coke steel ingot recipe. Alright, the pipes are at least full on this backside, so I think we're probably comfortable enough to fire this on now. So grab some power from here. Drag it onto there. Somebody is not set. There we go. So these are all just doing petroleum coke. Hopefully that pipe fills back up pretty quickly. And actually even just to kind of help get it going. We'll just fire that one on there. You can see it just immediately starts filling that pipe up. And then once it's filled back up, we can probably take it off. It'll just help fill up all the machines faster. And we're sinking a whole bunch of petroleum coke, 1,200 per minute. What an absolute beauty. I'm just going to make all these pipes purple so it matches. Alright, there we go. It is up and running. Everybody is at 100% efficiency already. That's beautiful. What a nice working system. So yeah, these pipes are full in the back. You can take this back one off now if you want. It should be able to maintain its fullness just from that. If you notice that it doesn't, just go ahead and add another little pipe back on. It's not a big deal. So yeah, that should be pretty much the end of today's episode. Like I said, there's going to be a multi-parter. So that is to 1,200 petroleum coke taken off the to-do list. We have quite the project we're working on here for nuclear power. Next up, we've got more of the uranium fuel rods and electromagnetic control rods factory to put together. This will probably take me 2 or 3 episodes to kind of finish up. And then from there, we're going to be firing up some heat sinks, some fused modular frames. And then eventually we're going to make it so the nuclear power is fully recyclable, where we're going to be doing some plutonium rods, and then some more radio control units per minute, and where we actually more automate that. Are we going to get to all this before 1.0 comes out? Who knows? Could be just around the corner, could be a few months away. We have honestly have no idea at this point. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed another episode hanging out here with me. If you guys did enjoy it and you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Maybe give it a like or a comment down below. If you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon, or you can become a channel member on here as well. Either way, I appreciate you guys so much for coming back once again. I will see you guys again very soon in the next episode. Have a good one.